Welcome to Sales Tax and More, your go-to resource for all things state tax related. Now here's your host, Michael Fleming.
Hi, Mike Fleming, founder of Sales Tax and More, and today's co-host of the Sales Tax and More podcast, where we talk about everybody's favorite topic, which is, of course, sales tax. And today we're going to talk about why software companies are registering their clients in too many states. And this is not my usual software company bashing. This is, for those of you who have listened to me before, this is something we all should pay attention to. But before we get into it, let me introduce you to my co-host, Ellie Moffat.
Hey everyone, really great to be here. Thank you so much, as always, for listening to the Sales Tax and More podcast. Please like and subscribe if what you hear from our podcast is helpful to you. It helps us quite a bit. And as an introduction to Sales Tax and More, we are a full service consulting and solutions firm, and we have a really great team here of experienced tax professionals who are very dedicated to fulfilling your state tax and related needs. So we do a lot of sales tax returns, sales tax registrations, consultations, research, audit defense, and like our name states, more. So if you have questions about our services or you'd like to work with us, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you, and we would love to work with you as well. So Mike, why are companies registering their clients in too many states? I think this is a question that I think that their clients are asking as well. So why is this happening?
Well, really, Ellie, there are two different answers to this. And the first one's not limited to just software companies. It's any platform you're selling on, like a Shopify, that is providing some sort of guidance on where you need to get registered. And, why this is a problem is I don't know of a software out there or a platform out there that gets granular enough to be able to give you specific answers. For example, for an economic nexus, most of these platforms are just looking at your gross sales, or software companies looking at your gross sales. Yet the states, they say, some states are going to say include sales for resale. Other states are going to say excluded. Some states say let's exclude sales for resale, but include all other exempt sales. Some states say only taxable sales. Some states say all sales, gross sales, through marketplace, exempt, or resale. So each state has their own ideas as to what will or will not be included in the thresholds. And unfortunately, not all that information is getting into the software, or is even can be put into the software in some instances. It's just looking at the gross. So that's number one. That's one of the reasons why. And sometimes it's no one's fault. Maybe the software or the platform has the ability to recognize that, but the people utilizing it don't run all of their data through the software, or don't run all of the data through the platform, and then the platform can't pick up all of that data. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, I think, a little bit more sinister. A lot of software companies, or some software companies, one in particular, and you can probably guess the answer, but I'm not going to say it. They get paid by the streamlined sales tax program to do the returns for you. So if you go to them, maybe you have Nexus in 5 states, and you need to be registered in 5 states. Unfortunately, they are going to turn around and register you in 24 states because the state is paying them to do so. And now you got to collect the tax in those 24 states. Well, why is that a problem? More transactions. How do these software companies get paid? They get paid, by the number of transactions you do. So they've got their finger on the scale. They're increasing their revenue by telling you to get registered in states where you don't have to. They tell you, well, there's no cost. You don't have to pay for the registration. You don't even have to pay for the returns. The cost is in figuring out what the tax is. So they're not exactly being very transparent there. Number two is, there's always issues associated with you getting registered in a state. I mean, you could be subject to audit now. So um, the first way here, hey, it's just a matter of the limitations of software, either whether those are the user limitations or not putting enough input in there, or the software limitations themselves. It's not very accurate. The second way, a little bit nefarious, people trying to make more money, and they're taking advantage, in my opinion, of their customers.
So, Mike, I know we mentioned too many states here, but is this a too many or not enough problem when it comes to state registrations? And what are the issues with either of those things?
Um, okay, couple different ways to go with this answer. Let's start with scenario one. Let's start with the software or the marketplace is telling you where you should get registered. Um, by far, I see more problems with people trying to get registered in too many states. I had one example, a guy came to us and said, hey, Shopify's telling me I need to be registered in these 20 states. And we have a service out there for non-sales tax return clients. If we're doing your sales tax returns, this is a free service. If we're not doing your sales tax returns, it's $799 a month. But what we'll do is we'll look at all of your sales last year plus year to date and let you know where you should or should not be getting registered. And we're looking at your specific fact pattern. Um, and when I did that, uh, I said, hey, you only got to get registered in 4 states. Otherwise, you know, you don't cross the thresholds based on your specific fact pattern in these states. Yeah, your total sales are over the thresholds, but look at everything you have to exclude. So that is the biggest problem. However, like you said, not getting registered in enough states is also a problem because if you're relying solely on this, what about the states that say include marketplace sales? And you're not running your marketplace sales through Shopify. You look, you know, accounting for them totally separately. And why not? Because they're doing the transactions, they're doing the sales tax. So why run it through one of these other systems? And now that system doesn't have enough information to give you the correct answer. And it doesn't have to be a marketplace. Maybe it's your wholesale sales, and you're not running those because you're not collecting tax on them. Why run those through through your software or through a platform like Shopify? So lots of different reasons why not enough information may be getting to these software companies. So by far the biggest problem is getting registered in too many states, but not too far behind not getting registered in enough states. Now, why is it a problem to not be registered in enough states? Well, because exposure starts to build from the day that you cross Nexus. And you start out with 0 exposure. But if you don't know that you had the Nexus and you should have been collecting and you find out about it a year or 2 later, now you got 2 years worth of exposure. So that's one of the problems on not getting registered in enough states. Getting registered in too many states, you know, you're still subject to audit. And, you know, you got higher compliance costs. You got to file more returns. You have to do more transactions if you're having the software calculate your taxes. So it's just a lot of expenses and potentially increased exposure if you're getting registered where you don't need to be. So those are the problems with that first scenario. The second scenario, if you over rely on what the software company's telling you, their most profitable line of business are these streamlined sales tax states. So sometimes they over concentrate on that and they don't look at where you may have nexus in some of these other states. So that would be where the not enough states getting registered. But when they register you, in theory, if there's a mistake on the tax rates or taxability, then the CSP, that's the software company, is supposed to be responsible for that. Good luck getting them to try to pay for it, because when you get audited, the state's coming to you for the money, not to the software company, if there's a deficiency there. And the software company is going to try to blame it on you somehow. I have not seen yet, not to say there's none out there, but I haven't seen it where they've actually stepped up and said, oh yeah, that's our problem, we'll take care of it. I have seen many cases go the other way, where they said, oh no, this is your fault because of this, or they make stuff up. So that's the problem with getting registered in too many states. I mean, you're subject to audit in all of these additional states, as well as, now you got to be paying for the transactions for them to calculate the sales tax. So, I mean, if you only have to be registered in 5 states, register in 5 states. Why let a software company register you in 24? I mean, it just seems ridiculous to me. Too much greed out there going on in the world nowadays. All right, I got off of my rant there, Ellie. Did I answer that question?
You did, Mike. And you know what? I'll give you the chance to rant a little more here. Is there anything else that you want to add in?
No, I think we've done enough ranting at this point. What I do want to talk about is we have a chart. It's a free chart. It's up on our website. So I think that software is a good tool if you're looking at it as a red flag. If it's telling you to get registered, just don't go out and get registered. I mean, you can pay someone like us, or, if we're doing your returns, we'll do it for you. This data review, that's where we look at your data for economic nexus, but you can do it yourself also. Use this chart that we've got up on our website. It'll tell you what's included, what's not included in those thresholds. And you can make the determination of whether you need to be registered or not in that state. So just don't blindly follow the software. I think they're great tools if we're using them as red flags. If you're using them as the final be-all answer, you're going to end up getting registered in too many states. And it'll help remind you when it's telling you to get registered in a state. Hopefully it sparks oh yeah, I should check my Nexus footprint for these states that may include marketplace sales, and I'm not running marketplace sales through the software here. So this chart is a great tool. It tells you the best time of year. If something says previous calendar year or current calendar year, well, you want to check it every December or January. Sometimes you don't have to worry about it again to the following year. There are states like Illinois that want you to check it every quarter. So, but there are less than a handful of states that have a rolling total. It's the ones that say previous calendar year or current calendar year. This time of year is a great time of year to be looking at that. So not saying software is horrible to determine if you have Nexus. I just say that use it as a red flag. It's another tool. And tools have their purposes. There are not one size fits all tools out there that'll do everything you want and need it to do. So it'll be a combination of using the software tool and doing a little bit of legwork on your own, or getting someone like us to do that for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike. For everyone else, if you have sales tax needs, we offer many solutions and services. Mike mentioned a couple today, but we have a lot of them. Please check them out. You can reach out to me directly at EMOFFAT at Sales Tax and More. That's eMoffat at salestaxandmore.com. Or visit our website, salestaxandmore.com. And we have a lot of other free resources out there. We do free webinars that offer CPE credit. We have those charts and matrices that Mike was talking about. We have blog posts. We have these podcasts. There's a lot of resources out there for you. So thank you so much. And you want to close us out here, Mike?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for listening today, and we hope to see you on the next installment of the Sales Tax and More podcast. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe and check out all the resources we have out on the web.